Happy Taco Tuesday, CJ Curry here. We're back looking at some more NBA player props on today's Tuesday NBA slate. Pretty good amount of games, but a lot of them look like potential blowout type situations. A lot of large spreads between these teams. You got a lot of good teams playing a lot of bad teams. So we'll have to try and see how things shake out. The NBA has been kind of volatile and kind of rough to bet on lately, but we'll do our best as we try to do in each and every video. If you're a new subscriber, appreciate you being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now. It's free for you to do. I'm doing deep dive, data-driven research on every player prop that I post here on the channel and all the player props that I post over in our Dub Club and Discord. So if that's your kind of thing, you're in the right place. Now, despite the fact that we do all this research and we have all this data behind it, things just don't always go the way that we hope. And yesterday's video is a prime example of that. We struck out, did not hit a single pick, but hopefully today we bounce back and have a better performance. Let's go ahead and pick somebody from yesterday's comment section. What we do in each of these videos is give away a free month of Dub Club. Dub Club is our VIP community where we've got a Discord community set up in conjunction with Dub Club, where we're posting all of our favorite picks, plays, and parlays, myself and other community members. And so all you have to do to get yourself a free month of Dub Club is be a subscriber to this YouTube channel, hit the like button, and comment your favorite player prop of the day down in the comment section below. If I choose your comment and that player prop ends up hitting, well, congratulations, you have won a free month of Dub Club, which is a $20 value. And today's winner is Duo Chains. He left a comment in yesterday's video. Yeah, I'm still taking the over on Giddy, LOL. And it's a good thing you did, because Giddy did go over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So shout out to Duo Chains. He decided to buck the system, go against the grain, against the projections, and trust the recent performance for Josh Giddey, and ended up paying off for him. And sometimes that's what will happen. That is your winner. So let's take a look at today's NBA player props. Kind of tough. I actually am recording this video for the second time because I didn't really love the first picks, but let's go with the first option here, which is Jarrett Allen over 24.5 PRA. Great matchup for him on paper against the Portland Trail Blazers. No Donovan Mitchell once again for Cleveland. And so Jarrett Allen has actually done a really good job of going over 24.5 PRA this season when Donovan Mitchell has sat out. So I pulled up outlier.bet. If you want to get your hands on a 7-day all-access free pass for Outlier, there's a link down in the description. You can use that link, and then you can try this out for yourself. And so what I've done is use Outlier's handy-dandy little filtration features. You can go over here. You can look at games where Donovan Mitchell has sat out. So I've turned Donovan Mitchell off or on, however you want to look at that. And then I've also included games where Darius Garland and both Evan Mobley have played. And you're left with these 6 games from this season. He's 6 for 6 is Jarrett Allen, going over 24.5 PRA, 30.83 points, rebounds, and assists per game average. So nearly 31 PRA per game average when Donovan Mitchell sits and he plays alongside of both Garland and Mobley. Now, if you wanted to take this a step further, you could. You could also include games where DeAndre Hunter, another key contributor for the Cleveland Cavaliers, has played, but you're left with a couple fewer games now that Hunter is more recently added to the Cleveland roster, but 2 for 2 in those games as well, 26 and 25 PRA. So it might end up being a little bit sweaty, but hopefully Jarrett Allen gets it done, because when you come over here and you look at the matchup against the Portland Trail Blazers, Portland ranks 25th in points allowed to centers, 27th in rebounds allowed to centers, and 30th in assists allowed to centers. So green, green, green in terms of the PRA matchup for big man Jarrett Allen. So now that we know that he's hit at a pretty high clip, now that we know that it is a good matchup, we can come over here and take a look at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. When we pull him up over here, you can see he's got a slight EV. It's a slight EV play, positive expected value play at 24.5 PRA, 51.2% chance that he goes over this number. That does not factor in FanDuel for whatever reason. Not sure why their player prop isn't being pulled from their sportsbook, but nonetheless, a slight EV play here for Jarrett Allen to go over 24.5 PRA. Taking a look at some of the projections, we'll head over here to RotoWire. RotoWire has done a great job building out this tool for PrizePicks, for Underdog, Pick 6, Sleeper, and a number of different sports books. So definitely try this out. 2-day free pass down in the description. Click that link. Use that to get this tool for free for the next 48 hours. But Jared Allen is projecting over for most things according to RotoWire, and the top thing that he is projecting over for is his points, rebounds, and assists. So when we come down here and take a look at the projection, about 27 PRA projection for Jared Allen, which is about 2.5 higher than where he currently sits on PrizePicks at just 24.5. So good projection there for Jared Allen. Going back over here and taking a look at Fantasy Labs, another one of my go-to tools and projection systems. They have him projected for 27.4 PRA, putting him over by about 3 points, rebounds, and assists once again, compared to his line of 24.5. So you've got to love those types of gaps or differentials. Going back over here to shot quality, which you can find over on rotogrinders.com if you're interested in getting your hands on these shot quality projections. 29.17 points, rebounds, and assists. So a massive over projection when you compare to his line of just 24.5. So another whopper of a projection for Jared Allen. So all things are kind of pointing up here for Jared Allen to go over 24.5 PRA. Taking a look at the next pick. This one's going to be Karl Anthony Towns over rebounds. He's going up against the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks are not going to play Anthony Davis tonight. He is expected to sit. Dallas has just been giving up a ton of rebounds this season, and especially in more recent games because of all the injuries to their front court. Obviously, they've had to go more of a small ball situation in a lot of the more recent games. If you look at the last 15 games or so for the Dallas Mavericks, center position in terms of rebounds allowed per game, they're giving up the 4th most rebounds over the last 15 games. 4th most rebounds allowed over the last 15 games to centers. And of course, Karl Anthony Towns is the center for the New York Knicks. The only issue is that Cat has not been rebounding like he was prior to Jalen Brunson getting hurt. Now, I don't know if there's a correlation there or not, but Karl Anthony Towns at one point in time was absolutely killing it on the glass, just pulling down, 15, 19, 16, 19, 22 rebounds in some cases. But over the last 10 games or so, the rebounds have not been as plentiful for Karl Anthony Towns. But again, this is a great spot for him to get back on track. This should be a game where he has plenty of rebound chances, rebound opportunities. So despite the hit rates, the matchup does look good on paper. Overall, Dallas is ranked 19th in terms of rebounds allowed to the center position. Now, when we go and pull this one up on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, we punch in Karl Anthony Towns' name. You can see that he's got about a 52% chance to go over 11.5 rebounds. Some money coming in, juice coming in on the over at 11.5 rebounds on sites like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, Caesars, etc. So various sports books, people are betting the over on Cat to get at least 12 rebounds tonight against this undersized, depleted Dallas Mavericks front court. So looking pretty good here thus far. Now, of course, we're going to apply some projections to this particular pick. And when we go over here and look at RotoWire's projection for Karl Anthony Towns rebounds is huge. 13.35 projected rebounds. In fact, 1.85 is the differential between the projection they provide and the line for Karl Anthony Towns rebounds at 11.5. So that is looking rather good on paper. If we go and check out some of these other projections, go over to the rebounds section. Towns is projected for about 13.5 boards versus Dallas over on Fantasy Labs. So they love him to collect at least 12 rebounds tonight as well. Going back over here to shot quality and punching in Towns' name there, he is projected for 14.2 rebounds today against the Dallas Mavericks. So some massive projections coming in on Karl Anthony Towns over rebounds, which brings me to my third and final play. It is Karis LeVert of the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I was digging around here on the Outlier tool Let's get him queued up. Karis LeVert for over 12.5 points for visual reference. But I was digging around here on outlier.bet and looking at Karis LeVert's games played with the Atlanta Hawks, games played with Trae Young, and here's what you're left with. 16 games now that he's played with the Hawks. He's gone over this points total of 12.5 at a 69% clip, averaging 15.6 points per game in that span. So doing really well coming off of the bench, one of the top 6 men in all the league. And he's coming off of a bad game against the Philadelphia 76ers, surprisingly. But they did blow Philly out, so that could be part of the reason why he didn't do so hot. But nonetheless, I like the fact that he's coming off of a down game. I like going back to guys who are averaging, pretty big numbers like 15.5 points or so that he's been averaging since joining the Hawks, and catching them at 12.5, especially coming off of a bad game. NBA players usually play to their averages, and so this is a good spot for us to go back to Karis LeVert here. But yeah, 69% hit rate, 15.6 points per game so far with the Atlanta Hawks. And then when you look at the games that he's played on the road for Atlanta, he tends to turn it up in terms of scoring. 17.8 points per game. On the road, he's hit in the last 4 road games, 18 points, 20 points, 17 points, and 25 points played for the Atlanta Hawks on the road. Now, you look at the matchup here against the Houston Rockets. Houston ranks 24th in points allowed to the point guard position. So obviously Fred VanVleet's their starting point guard, but after him, it gets pretty bad. Houston doesn't really have anybody noteworthy. I think they're starting, Justin Holiday is their backup point guard. But nonetheless, yeah, the matchup should be pretty good here for Karis LeVert, and I expect him to kind of bounce back here in this particular matchup versus Houston. So there you go. Karis LeVert looking pretty good on paper. Let's go see where he's at on the sports books. Karis LeVert sitting out there at 12.5 points. You're going to see him at 12.5 points on most books. Now, FanDuel did have him at 13.5 points. I'm not sure, again, why FanDuel Sportsbook isn't reporting with the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Stuff happens. It's kind of weird early in the day. But anyway, from the sportsbook data that we are able to pull in, he's got about a 51.2% chance. So a slight EV over at 12.5 points. So that's looking pretty decent. So let's go pull some projections up for Karis LeVert. Starting off with PrizePicks tool over on RotoWire. RotoWire's got him right at 12.5 points. So they're not super high as far as a projection goes, right around where his line is currently set. But his minutes are starting to tick up. He missed a couple of games recently, but he played almost 27 minutes in the last game that he was in. So another projection for Karis LeVert, about 12.5 points there. That's Fantasy Labs. And then over here, looking at shot quality. Shot quality's got him at 13 points, so they like him to go over on shot quality. So a couple different projections for Karis LeVert, but yeah, this could be one of those nice bounce back spots for a guy who has been scoring the ball really well, didn't have the greatest game in his last one, and has been averaging a lot more points than 12.5 since joining the Atlanta Hawks. So this is the time of the video where I turn things over to you guys. You guys let me know, are you liking these picks, hating these picks? Let me know why or why not down in the comment section below. And if you want to win that free month of Dub Club, leave your favorite player prop. If that prop ends up hitting and I end up picking it from the comment section randomly, then you'll win a free month of Dub Club, which means unlimited access to all the picks, plays, and parlays that myself and other community members are posting each and every day. So if you're a Dub Club member, good luck. We will see you on the inside for Taco Tuesday. We'll see you in another video real soon. Peace.